Hello guys, welcome back to another tips video. This is the round 18 tips for 2026. Just 5 out of 9 last week, and yep, let's start. Freo and Sydney, first v second. Last time they played each other was round 17 last year. I know it was a year ago. And yeah, Swans look to lock in the top 4 spot in the final stretch of the season. And Freo, they lost their first game since March 14, which broke a 14-game winning streak, which is a club record, as the Giants upset the Dockers. But we'll touch on Giants soon. But yeah, Hayden Young is injured. Yeah. Andy Brayshaw had 8 tackles, and Sydney, Kerno kicked 6 and James Jordan had 7 tackles. Anyways, Thursday night, Fremantle by 16 points. And yep, moving on, Collingwood North 8-7-1 to 8-8. Last time they played each other was round 11 last year. That was. North Melbourne are still winless at the Adelaide Oval, and Collingwood, they hold off as a late 3 today, cost still the thrilling win. They're sitting 9th now. And yep. For Collingwood, Membry kicked 3, McStay kicked 3, and yep, North, Sheasel had 40 disposals, 154 AFL Fantasy, and 9 tackles. Anyways, Collingwood by 38 points. North barely play on Friday night Spurs this time yet. Anyways, moving on, Super Saturday, Saints and Ports. Last time they played each other was in Gather Round, 6-10 to 7-9. Saints got their 7th win of the season, as their season is still alive with a dominant 67-point win victory, as they also kicked 8 consecutive goals in the second quarter. And yep, Port, their season is still alive, despite being 15, but they're like 8 points below the wild card, and probably 11. Yeah. For Port, George Hayes kicked 3, Jack Whitlock kicked 3, and Saints, Wayne Miller at 46 disposals, 160 AFL Fantasy, and Max Hall 9 tackles. Yep, Nas continues to be good for Saints. Anyways, Saints by maybe 11 points. Yep, moving on. Giants and Geelong. 9-7 to 7-9. Last time they played each other was round 18 last year. Giants have upset the ladder leaders in Fremantle, as their season is still alive. Yeah, hold on Giants. And Cats lose again. Only 1 out of their last 5, the only one being Gold Coast, and lost to Brisbane after conceding the first 8 of the game. And yep. For Geelong, Dangerfield kicked 5, and Bailey Smith had 126 AFL Fantasy. And Giants, Stringer kicked 7, Toby Green 123 AFL Fantasy, and Clary had 32 disposals. Anyways, Giants have a good record against the Cats. I don't think Cats are better in a long time, but I reckon Giants by 5 points. Yeah. In 23 it was 7 points, and 24 was 4 points, and it was 4 points again last year at the GNHBA. Moving on, Carlton and Hawthorn, 10-5-1 to 8-8. Last time they played each other was round 20 last year, and yeah, Hawks, oh my god, down by 96 points. However, they kicked 12 in a row to make it back to 23, and yeah, not enough, but yeah. Newcombe had 27 disposals, and Chol kicked 5. Carlton, They win 7 consecutive games in a row for the first time since 2023, and things are looking up at Princes Park. This time under Josh Fraser. Yep. The man who's saving Carlton's season. Yep. Jagger Smith had 29 disposals, and George Hewitt 114 AFL Fantasy, 9 tackles for him, and George Hewitt also kicked 2, and Brody Kemp kicked 2. Anyways, maybe this time Hawthorn. Hawthorn by, I reckon, 25 points. Who knows, I might get that wrong there. Anyways, Adelaide and Gold Coast. 10-6 to 7-9. Last time they played each other was round 19 last year. And yep. The Suns, oh no. They've lost 6 in a row, which their last win was against Port Adelaide in round 10. However, Ben King is now in the lead of the Coleman medal after Charlie Curnow led it only for Friday night. And yeah. For the Suns, John Noble 33 disposals, Zeke Uland 146 AFL Fantasy, Tuke Miller 10 tackles, and Bailey Humphrey and Ben King kicked 3 goals. Crows, Fogarty kicked 4, Dawson 27 disposals, Rankin 27 disposals, and Dawson also had 126 AFL Fantasy. Anyways, Adelaide by 53 points. And yeah, that wraps up Super Saturday. Now Sunday ticket with the Dogs and the Eagles. 9-7 to 4-12. Last time they played each other was round 23 last year. And yeah. Well, beaten by Sydney and the Eagles. Not enough to win as they lost by 25. Harley Reid with 23 disposals and 6 clearances. Played its heart out and looked like sparkling the Eagles through the 4th, but he missed several chances and kicked 4 behind. Oh my god. Oliver Francouk had like 9 tackles, yep. This guy only played his first game. Jeez. And the Dogs. Bailey Dale had 32 disposals and 138 AFL Fantasy. Anyways, Bulldogs by 72 points. And yep, D's and Richmond now 10-6 to 2-14. Last time they played each other was round 7. That was when Pickett took that incredible mark. And yep, D's led by 96 points midway through the 3rd quarter, and then Hawthorn kicked 12 in a row. Yep, I know. Then the D's kicked the last 2 thanks to Fridge and Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen kicked 5 and Fridge kicked 5. And also Van Rooyen had 131 AFL Fantasy and Jack Steele had 8 tackles. With Richmond, Noel Bolter kicked 2, Seth Campbell 2, Mansell 2 and Kenny Lafau 2. Anyways, D's by 59 points to make them 11-6. And our last game is Brisbane and Essendon. Brisbane are 10-6 and Essendon are 1-15. Percentage of 69. However, Richmond is the worst percentage this year, but yeah, whatever. Last time I played each other was in round 8 and Lions kicked the first 8 of the game against Geelong. They move up into the top 4. And Essendon, nothing much to talk about. Anyways, for Essendon, Nate Caddy kicked 3, and Brisbane, Ashcroft had 32 disposals, Dunkley had 14 tackles, and Lohman had 5 goals. And yep, anyways, last game, Brisbane by maybe 46 points. And yep, these are our tips for round 18. Please make sure to join my tips comp. You'll be in the link in the description down below if you want to join. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more AFL tips videos.